Hey guys, this is Patrick Sessoms with Due South Outfitters in Boone, North Carolina. And today I'm going to tie one of my favorite wintertime patterns. This is a small blueing olive nymph. Works great on the tailwaters in Tennessee and even in the local creeks here around Boone. So like I was saying, we're going to tie a bluing today. One of the keys to this pattern is having a really skinny body. If you've ever sampled blue wings, you'll notice that the bugs themselves aren't really fat. You know, a real thin body profile is key here, and I find that to really get the fish interested. Nonetheless, let's get started. So the thread I'm going to use is a olive colored Danville 8/0 flat wax thread. Nothing too strange here, just a regular olive thread. We're going to use some ultra wire in color black, extra small. As far as the hooks we're using, I've got an Allen Fly Fishing size 20 W502. This is just a standard nymph hook from Allen Fly Fishing out of Texas. These hooks are great, relatively price conscious, and they perform well in the field. And then for my bead, I'm going to be using just a black 1.5 mil tungsten black nickel bead. And other materials. Okay, we're going to use some Superfine dry fly dubbing. You can use it in olive or black, either way, for the collar, and then just some regular generic pheasant tail. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to make a few wraps here and kind of wrap down our body. Go ahead and get rid of that excess thread there. And the first thing I like to do, I get down to about the bend of the hook shank here, and I'm going to tie in my wire, okay? So I'm going to use this extra small black ultra wire, tie it in here. I come back up top with it just to kind of coat it there. And I'm going to come back to the bend of the hook shank here. Now this is a pretty important step right here. I've seen a lot of folks tie pheasant tail styled flies, and they use too much pheasant tail for their tailing material. I like to use 4 fibers, no more, no less, 4 fibers. So I'm going to go ahead and clip 4 fibers off of my pheasant tail, and we're going to tie them in here. So let's kind of coerce these together. Go ahead and tie these into my fly, like so. There we go. Go ahead and stop for just a second and let you guys look at this. So you can see here I've got my wire dangling off the back of my fly. I've got my pheasant tail tied in, and now if you notice I haven't clipped my fibers off yet. I'm going to wrap my thread up to the bead covering this pheasant tail fiber. That's going to give it a little more strength in the back as well. So let me go ahead and do that. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and make sure you cover all the pheasant tail up with your thread as well. That's going to make that body profile look really nice. Go ahead and cover all these up. There we go. So I've wrapped it to where I'm up top. I'm going to go ahead and take these fibers off. Just simply pull them off. Now, I'm going to use the wire to rib my fly. So I'm just going to go up the fly here, leaving a little space between each wrap. The goal here is to make this look like a candy cane of sorts. So I'm ribbing with my wire all the way up to the bead head. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a couple wraps over the wire. Okay, so I've wrapped my thread all the way up to the bead head. My wire's hanging off here. I'm going to go ahead and clip this wire off. It's so small you can just pull it off with your hands. Now, the last step, like I said, this is a super easy fly, really effective in the water. Hands down one of my favorite guide flies because it's really quick to tie and it looks very natural. Now we're going to go ahead and dub this fly, make a little dry fly dubbing collar here. Get just a small amount of dubbing out. As you can tell here, I don't have very much. Just going to build up just a small little collar here behind the bead. It doesn't take a lot. It adds a little color to it. That's about it really. Let's go ahead and slide that up the tying thread. There we go. And we're just going to wrap around behind the bead there. Now, our fly is virtually done. We're going to whip finish. And no need to go crazy on this. It, like I said earlier, we want a really small profile. So we don't want a ton of whip finish or a big collar with our thread. And you're done. This is a great little blue wing pattern. Right now it looks a little shaggy, but you know, once it gets in the water, it'll kind of come together. Nice, skinny, thin blue wing. But yeah, like I said, great guide fly. These are really easy to tie. You can whip them out in no time. But really good wintertime pattern.